What's up, guys? Quick overview of the third boss in the raid on Mythic. So all these red dots represent canisters, and after 2 minutes, the boss will break whatever canisters are still up, and you have to deal with the ads. We'll get to that in a second, though. So basically the whole idea of the fight is to manage whatever we want to break and whatever we want to keep up. It's going to be very simple. We start on this side. We break the first two. Two people get targeted by a beam. You just run behind the canister. The boss shoots out an orb. If it hits someone else or something else before it hits the canister, we won't get it broken, and that's really bad. So as the raid, you always stand on like the outside of the room area, so to say, like on the side/back-ish here. Tank on the other side. If you get targeted, just go behind the thing. You also can't stand in front because then it'll hit you, so you have to stand behind, okay? Once you do that, they break. And 2 ads are channeling already. But all of the ads in a room are channeling for 2 minutes straight, so including these ones that we just broke open. These ads are now killable, but they're still just casting for 2 minutes. So they don't do any damage to the raid, they don't do anything. So we don't have to focus them, we just keep nuking the boss, we drag the boss in between, and they just die of passive cleave, right? Then we kind of do the same thing on the other side. However, the mythic mechanic, I'll go over that real quick now, is essentially there's going to be 2 or 3 people getting targeted by these orbs that shoot in all directions. And you just want to make sure that one orb hits the canister before the beams come out. The reason for that is on Mythic, the canisters will have like a rune hovering around them. And whenever the rune is broken, that's when you can break the canister with the beam. If you miss here and you hit it with the beam after, it won't break. So that's a big problem. So definitely got to make sure that we hit those and that we dodge the rest of the orbs that come in. So it's just a rinse and repeat. We kill these ads again, they do nothing. Go to the center, do the exact same, kill these ads, they do nothing. And then the 2-minute marker hits. So as you can see, we have 6 canisters left up. That means 6 ads. So the 2-minute marker hits, all of these ads become active, and they now start fighting us. We're going to have a combination of like mages, phase blades, and assassins. Forget about the phase blades and the assassins, really. Just cleave them down. And mages, grip them in, stun them, CC them, whatever, kick them, and kill them fast. Hard prio them. Once the mages are dead, the majority of the threat is kind of gone. And then the boss just kind of repeats itself. So we just go to the other side of the room and do the exact same. And then 4 minutes and 30 in or so, we have another one of these phases, right? There's one mechanic I didn't speak about, which is the knockbacks that the boss does. So in between all of these mechanics that I showed, the boss will occasionally knock the entire raid back. I've shown that here. While we're on this side of the map, everyone wants to get knocked back towards the outside here because it drops a puddle where you land. That means be very careful with things like shadow stepping or disengaging or whatever, because where you land is where your puddle drops. So ideally, you just want to land and then shadow step, or land and then move out, disengage, whatever, so that puddles are in the correct spot. So we want the puddles on the outside here because we don't play there for the rest of the fight. Once we go to the center, we can place them still on the outside, but a bit more close, obviously, because we don't come back on this side anyway. Then after the intermission, we do the exact same thing, but mirrored, right? So on the right side of the map. And then again, we go to the center, place them here. And at this point, the boss will be dead or the boss will be low. We deal with the remaining ads that are up. And then if we get some more knockbacks, we just simply like put them here and here. Just keep the center free, basically, until the boss is dead. Now, quick show of how that looks on the fight itself. As you can see, these runes that are hovering around, right, where my cursor is, these runes over here, they represent the fact that they still need to be hit by one of the orbs. So that's happening now. As you can see, boom, the orbs hit. The runes are now gone. The orb hit, by the way, gives a healing absorb on the raid, so healers just beware of that. And now the beams come out. I believe their demon hunter fucks this one up on the top. Yep, he's standing in front, so he fucked it up, and therefore this ad won't become active. This ad on the right, however, they did correct, so this ad is active. But again, it's casting, so it's literally not a threat. It does nothing. So you don't have to focus it. You don't have to like spec hard cleave for that specific reason. At this point, it's just boss damage. So fast forward a little bit, a bit too far. So here we have the knockback coming in. Boss is casting. And all we want to do is just be on the same side, right? The more stacked we are, the better, of course. But as long as these puddles down here are like, they're all fine. The puddle up here and the puddle up there are not ideal. You want to avoid that, ideally. And the puddles down here are all good, really. So you just kind of rinse and repeat. Gonna get knocked back again in a second here. Here, second knockback comes in. Again, you know, they do the correct thing here. You just drop it on one side. And we never come back here anyway, right? So this is all good. Now we go towards the center. And we have one more set. Boom, ads break. And now 2-minute marker will be here now. Boom, exactly 2 minutes. And now all the remaining ads, so the ads come from the top of the screen. You'll see in a second here. There they come, charging in. You just need to nuke them, really. Like I said, mages, hard prio them. The rest will just die in the blender. Just fucking CC and nuke the living shit out of everything. And then once that's done, we basically go again, right? So boss just resets the canisters, and we just play the same game, only on the opposite side of the room. Right? That's that, really. GG's.